This is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So on Friday, when AJ was on the show, I let him know that there was a mandate that we had heard about people from ESPN not being allowed onto this show. Now, my immediate reaction was understanding, I think. I expected this to happen. I understood that this was potentially going to happen because our numbers, okay, big thanks to everybody that watches and listens. Our numbers weren't like of that of a small regional show in Indiana. And if you're a business person who's trying to hold on to land that you don't have anymore, you could see how the easiest thing and short-sighted and small-minded thing to do would be to not allow anybody to go there because they're viewing us as competition, even though we have no live rights, we're not a channel and anything like that. So since it's so short-sighted and small-minded, knew that it was inevitability at this particular situation with that company, and I knew that it would happen. When it did happen, I was bummed out, I was sad, and I made the announcement on this show. I did not take it personally, but the listeners and viewers took that personally.
Yes, they did.
Hey, if you're listening or watching this show right now, when you guys took to the internet to say hashtag ESPN stinks for not allowing anybody to come on our show, you caused quite a tiff in the Disney world. I never responded. I never said anything. I didn't promote you guys doing what you did. But the people that listen to the show, the people that watch this show, take this show very personally. We are a part of our lives. I think we say that you guys are a part of our lives. I think you would say that we're a part of yours. And we are eternally grateful for you.
Yes. Thank you.
And what led from all of you kind of doing your thing on the internet, talking about no more Helwani and no more Orshlovsky, no more Rossini Massacre Week, no more Jet Passing, no more Dan Mozziano. You know, when you guys started doing all that stuff, no Shefty, obviously it started to grow and grow and grow. There was articles getting written about it. And I think a lot of people were potentially sitting on a situation where they could potentially go after an institution that we all grew up with. ESPN was something we all watched. Obviously, we all watch SportsCenter, and then once you see what it's kind of becoming and the things that they're doing and the decisions that we're making, I feel like a lot of people got onto this particular train and were like, yeah, this is bullshit, but not just this. There's a lot of other decisions that are being made over there that we think are bullshit. I want to let you know, I appreciate you guys going to bat for me, but I never felt as if this was something that would make me that upset because it's business. Now, in lieu of business, they came out and made a statement to Richard Deitch. Now, Deitch is a guy, he and Andrew Marchand are kind of like the media reporters, all right? There's people that talk about sports stooges, us.
Yep.
There's people that talk about politics stooges. There's those.
Oh, yeah.
Deitch and Marchand, I believe, are the media followers. They kind of get into that thing. And Deitch immediately talked about this and said that he reached out to ESPN. There was no response. Then I learned Saturday there was a response from ESPN, and reading it was very interesting to me. The quote from ESPN to Richard Deitch, and we'll go through this line for line. We didn't intend to ban ESPN guests from the show, and there is certainly no ban going forward. Okay, so you certainly did intend to ban people from this show. Okay, like I wasn't even going to talk about this, but this is just a bullshit start here. You did intend, I heard it from numerous people, okay? You didn't intend for the backlash, which, by the way, I didn't expect. I don't think you did either. There is certainly no ban going forward. Okay, from your side, all right? We are in the midst of figuring out the best process for future guests to appear on outside platforms. Okay, smart, probably should have had that already in place. And Pat will continue to make regular appearances on ESPN shows. I don't know if that's accurate either. So you start this thing with a falsehood, and you end it with a falsehood. But in the middle there, I like that there's potential progress. Good job, ESPN.
Yeah, all right, nice job.
I did not call for this. Okay, I had a lot of people, not a lot of people, I had a lot of people tweeting me like, hey, good job, you're going to get real things done over there. I'm like, hey, don't say good to me. This is people that watch this show. This is people that listen to this show. And I want to let you know, I am honored that you choose to watch and listen to us because you guys got this done. And by the way, this whole middle area, figuring out the process for people going on to other shows, that's great for ESPN as a whole. And there's this old, because a lot of people reach out to me that were banned from my show, potentially, and people that used to work at ESPN reach out to me. There's this old ESPN thing that was basically a radio thing that said, if somebody has an ESPN channel in the local area, no ESPN employees can go on any other channel in the area because if they're on that channel, they're not listening to ESPN radio. When it comes to this particular show, we are a YouTube show, and a lot of articles said that we're a Sirius XM show. They license our show, but we are a YouTube strictly show, and there's a good chance that if somebody's watching our show, they're potentially also watching ESPN in the background, or if they're not watching ESPN, guess what? They're learning about somebody who's potentially on ESPN that they might like, by the way, so maybe in the future they see him on ESPN, guess what they do? They stop and watch ESPN. So the fact that they're figuring out the best process going forward for other shows, I think that's smart because you're figuring out, guess what? Your business, which is good news for everybody to do. Way to go. Now, whenever it says outside platforms, and we are getting linked in with a lot of different shows, and I have learned via tweets and comments from people, Colin Cowherd tweeted me and said, welcome to the two-man club or whatever. I'm like, thank you, Colin, I appreciate that. So I guess ESPN guys aren't allowed on Colin's show. He's on Fox, okay, obviously. Lebitard, I guess the same thing's happening with him. Dan Patrick, I guess the same thing happened with him. Rich Eisen, I guess the same thing happened with him. And it's an honor to be in conversations with all those OGs, okay? But they all started at ESPN, okay, all of them. Every one of them started at ESPN. I did not. So although it is an honor to be in the same conversation with them, you could see how they could potentially view that as a conflict of interest as a company that starts at ESPN, then leaves ESPN to go elsewhere, strictly immediately following the exit. You could see how ESPN would be like, we don't want to get this confused here that you're still working with us as this whole thing, as our people are going over there. So I think that's a little bit of a difference because our show was never a ESPN show. Never fucking will be an ESPN show, but just strictly because they're FCC rules and everything like that. And maybe I'll continue to make appearances on ESPN shows if the host of the shows would like me to come on because the executives don't actually want me on the show. The host of the show want me on there. So with that being said, I'm happy we're past this. I'm happy they're figuring out their process going forward. And I'm happy for our ESPN friends over there that they'll get a chance when they're off the clock to potentially help build their brand in other places and showcase a side of them that they're not allowed to be on Mickey Mouse's screen. So a job well done to the listeners and viewers. You changed some lives here. You made some things better, and we appreciate it. With that being said, I'm banning ESPN from this show for at least a fucking week.